Yeah.
All three of us own now.
That's right. All
Thanks,
three of us.
Nub.
Yeah,
Thanks, Nub.
dicks in, boys. Let us gingerly touch tips.
Rub-a-dub-dub.
Apollo has lifted
Liam
his
Neeson's
skirt. The
cock
day
is
has been
so
launched.
big. How big is it? It eats your tips.
It's bigger than Fanboys Inc. combined.
Yes.
What else came out today? Prelude to Infinity.
Well, I'm not done with my Superior. It's a whole month, man. There's only 3 weeks. We go into 7/24 with Superior Spider-Man 14.
Not only do we get freedom this month, but we get Superior Spider-Man.
That's right.
Superior freedom.
And Superior Spider-Man Team-Up #1, which you just mentioned.
Yep.
So, Spider-Man is one of those obviously he's an iconic character, but I love how they're kind of bringing it back to the fun of it.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously with the Superior Spider-Man, with Doc Ock, there's some serious issues going on. I mean, he's killing people. He's always on the line. But all the other books, those are fun books.
Yeah.
And I think that's what we kind of need. We've had so much serious topics in books and underlying meanings. That's why I think I've always kind of liked Spider-Man. His troubles are just the fact that, I can't pay rent. I'm having a hard time getting laid, and I can't make my job on time. Those you can relate to.
Aunt May's birthday.
Right, and you can relate to those, and you
Right.
can relate to those. Then the world-shattering crisis going on or whatever.
That's why Spider-Man is arguably the greatest superhero of all time.
I'd have to say, yeah.
Yep, my favorite. I want to touch on something real quick too. The Avenging Spider-Man book that just wrapped up last month. It finished up a 2-part storyline with the Chameleon. Spider-Man's first villain, Amazing Spider-Man #1, 1962. Anyways. It was kind of cool because for the last few issues, it was revealed that Doc Ock Spidey is actually he's capturing the villains, but he's tucking them away himself. He's got like a little secret headquarters, and I think so far he's got locked up the Chameleon. He locks up in his little laboratory. Who else? I think Sandman. I remember there was like one other villain that he had trapped, and so it's like, what is he doing? Is he? And then D-Dub, you were hypothesizing that perhaps he's collecting himself up a new Sinister Six.
That'd be cool.
Maybe that's what he's got in his.
Do a little genetic manipulation and get a little bit of pieces of all of them. Make one mega supervillain.
Ooh.
I want to see some storylines from the '60s. Speaking of the Penny Plunderer, just something outrageous.
Yeah.
Here's
just ludicrous,
and then so he can fight him.
Right.
Show how good he is, and then
Yep.
just have one weakness. Oh, we forgive your bowl cut.
Nice. What else came out this week?
Prelude to Infinity, the Avengers #15, Jonathan Hickman storyline, as entertaining
I don't know.
as ever.
I'm on.
What?
I don't know. What was last week's Prelude to Infinity? I got that.
Oh, you mean? Oh, last week's was the new Avengers book.
Yeah.
Oh, that Avengers #14.
Yeah, I wasn't thrilled with that one.
Thrilled with that, huh?
Yeah.
Huh. Well,
I did officially drop Uncanny though.
Uncanny Avengers?
Yeah, for real. I just couldn't.
Officially second time around.
Yeah, second
Third time around.
Until the next issue.
No, I'm done. What else you get?
Transformers: Robots in Disguise #19 came out today. Cool storyline. You see Optimus Prime in there. Waspinator from Beast Wars shows up in this issue. He's drinking in a bar.
Now, did you post? Was that a post of a toy too, or no?
That was one of the on our Facebook page. Some of the BotCon figures coming out is Waspinator and Rhinox. Looks just like their Beast Wars incarnation from the late '90s, which I love that cartoon show.
That Rhinox is nice.
Nice.
Cherry.
Yep.
And another book that came out, I picked up, did not come out, but I picked this one up out of the dollar bin.
Ooh, What
Jason
If?
Moore, you're going to appreciate this. What If #26 from, I think, 91. What if the Punisher had killed Daredevil? Ooh,
What
Jason
if Tatum
Moore.
Channing had killed Daredevil.
Tatum Tatum, now the new Punisher.
Oh, that was perfect.
I also picked up the start of Avengers vs. X-Men, but the What If side. So we're going to see about that, Avengers vs. X-Men. I've always loved the What If titles. I always liked those. Elseworld as well through DC.
Do we need a 4-issue miniseries,
I don't know.
though? But
I don't
part
know.
of what I loved about What Ifs
I don't know,
back
but
in
the
the
opening
day,
scene shows the Guardians of the Galaxy.
part of what I loved about What Ifs back in the day, it was just they would deal with a major event or a storyline, but they would wrap it up in one issue.
Right.
So I don't need.
I mean, also speaking of Elseworlds, I wasn't able to pick up the Batman Superman from last week, but I got it with Jay Lee artwork.
Oh, cool.
Awesome.
Very cool.
That's my prelude to the pick of the week. Awesome storyline.
Nice.
It is an Elseworld type book. I didn't think I'd.
Jay Lee's work gets
And I'll get
better
more
every
into it
time
when
I see it.
I'll get more into it when we get into our pick of the week. Green Lantern 22. New recruits. LaFreeze. I picked up LaFreeze #1 last week. I know everybody was kind of like, huh? Oz is like, why would you pick that up?
Big, weird, horse-headed,
to tell you,
character.
I will not be picking up issue 2.
Oh, really?
I'm not a big fan. I mean, he's an odd character, and it was kind of a origin story with him, and that was okay. The art was okay.
Is it just because he looks like Beta Ray Bill that you like the guy?
Beta Ray Bill that's got like, you know...
Well, just in the sense he's a
an
weird horse-looking
Ethiopian
critter.
Beta Ray Bill. I mean, he's skinny.
Alpha Ray Bill.
Yeah, no, it had nothing to do with that. I just like the way, you know, the orange lantern, the orange light and what it stands for and everything. I thought it was a nice little twist. But I won't be picking it up. I know some other people will who do enjoy it. I give it a 5 out of 10. But Green Lantern 22, a new villain introduced. You'll have to wait to see who that is. I'm loving this. Hal is now the Guardians. The original Guardians are gone. This new Guardian group that was found in hiding or imprisonment has now come back and they're rebuilding Oa.
So wait, they're not the Blue Midgets?
They are. It's a different group of blue midgets.
Little people.
It's the
little people.
It's the new Blue Man group. But yeah, so they decide because they've been in hiding and they don't know how well the universe works, so they decide to leave Oa while it's trying to be rebuilt because it's gotten destroyed. They leave Hal in charge of the Corps, so he is the leader of the entire Corps now and in charge of rebuilding Oa and everything else. So I'm liking this. This is once again turning out to be a fun book. Superman Unchained I didn't get. I just got that. I haven't read it yet, guys. Sorry, we've been behind with certain things.
Smell that cover. If you're in the comic shop,
yes,
smell the cover to Superman Unchained #1.
Yes, and then
smells chemically.
Trinity of Sin #1, Pandora, the start of the Trinity War.
Oh, cool.
Definitely pick up that. That'll get you going to the end. To end her curse, she must take on the entire DCU. So that's a prelude or prequel to the Trinity War. Pick that up if you guys want to get in the inside scoop about what's starting to happen with the Trinity War. Trinity of Sin again with the Phantom Stranger. This issue 10 does not start with the Trinity War, but I always like buying the book before a story arc. That last page can explain so much, or the last few pages. So I always like to get the book for a new storyline. If I'm not following the book, to pick it up one issue before the actual storyline. So Phantom Stranger 10 next month. He'll be part of the Trinity War.
I sometimes give myself the Phantom Stranger.
I bet you do.
I know. I was looking for a Phantom Stranger joke.
Earth 214. I'm really digging this book. Since this has come out, I've really praised this book. Some really good stuff. Last issue, you were able to see Batman finally return. But is it the Batman that we all know and love? Who knows? Because technically, the big three are dead from the Darkseid War.
I really like the artwork on this.
Sorry, guys, for interrupting this great podcast, but we need to take a break and pay some bills with one of these great advertisers. You looking for that place for all your fanboy needs? Well, come on down to the Comic Depot. Comics, games, toys, collectibles, and more. And don't forget to ask them about their weekly comic book subscription service so you never miss an issue. Comic Depot, just located outside of Saratoga Springs, New York, inside the Wilton Mall. You can give them a call at 518-581-2363 or visit them online at thecomicdepotllc.com. The Comic Depot, where everybody leaves a superhero. The artwork on Earth 2 is amazing.
Nicola Scott is the artist.
Yep. I've been loving it.
Did you guys see the...
Very cool.
How you remember at the Age of Ultron was supposed to come out earlier than it was released, and Emma Frost was actually written into the part of Professor Xavier.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Prof X was supposed to be in there.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, he was supposed to be on crutches. And,
No kidding.
But obviously he got killed
Cyclops
in
killed him.
AVX.
Yeah.
God damn it, Cyclops, you're always on the edge, man. Fucking up other storylines.
Yeah, right.
Fuck. You whine, you cry, and all this shit. Now you're fucking up storylines. What
I
the
was
fuck?
after rereading Age of Ultron, I was like, you know what? Maybe I'll go back and reread Avengers vs. X-Men first issue. And this is a baby rant. This is part of the problem that I was having with comic books. For the first 6 pages of Avengers vs. X-Men #1, it took 6 pages for the superheroes to save a crashing plane. That's something that should be wrapped up in one panel.
Well, sorry you think Iron Man can save 12 people when he can only carry 4 and save a plane.
Go look at Infinity Gauntlet. Go look at Infinity Gauntlet #1, and you'll see the superheroes. You'll see the Avengers save a crashing plane in like 2 panels. And this
well,
is
maybe
part of
they don't work well as a team.
and
They're
this is
trying to
part
get
of
it
where
together.
like caption boxes and thought balloons come into play. It seems that comic books, they try and make comic books more like storyboards for movies as opposed to just telling a
Duh.
story. Right, but that's not the way
I
it
understand
was.
that. I understand that. Who's your big guy that still does caption boxes? There's an artist that you like that still does the caption box, more caption boxes or internal dialogue. I thought we were talking about that at the NYC Comic-Con last year.
Who was it? Rick, who was it?
He wasn't there.
Tal, read my minds.
Ewan McGregor.
That's right.
Yeah, Jesus Christ.
I have no idea what that means.
John Byrne.
The force is strong with me. Give me the heroin.
That was awful.
Oh, it was terrible.
That was fucking awful.
It's getting to be a good month for comics. I mean, I don't think there's been a real bad month so far. But I'm excited for a lot of this. I mean, my wallet's going to cry even more now that we have the Trinity War, and then
Your
these
wallet
other-
just perpetually cries.
I
man.
know. I know.
It's just like how loud is it crying as opposed to like it's just sniffling.
You can't
whimpering.
even hear it cry anymore. His voice is gone. It's
And
just-
she's wailing.
And she's wailing. Now I'm sitting on her on it when my ass is in
Siren's
her.
singing.
I have to sit on her just to keep her quiet. But bump. But I want to talk a little. We were talking about some comics, older comics, 90s, especially when we were talking about Superman. John Burns around Man of Steel limited series.
That was 80s.
80s, sorry. I picked up. I remember. I was going through some stuff. I remember one of DC's limited series, 6-issue series, was Legends, and I loved that storyline. And it was the first crossover, full. How do I say this? Entire DC Universe crossover after Infinite Crisis, or Crisis on Infinite Earths. It was the first major crossover after Infinite Crisis, Infinite.
Crisis on Infinite
Yeah, thank you.
Earths.
Infinite crossover out every Thursday.
Shameless plug.
I love, and it was a full DCU tie-in with all the books. Pretty much the premise was Darkseid, and I believe it's Phantom Stranger, make a deal saying that he can't change the change the thoughts of humans to kill the superheroes, and they use who's the other character?
Superman.
No, Darkseid's minions there.
Calabac, the Parademons.
No, the other one.
Steppenwolf. Desaad.
It's Desaad who can manipulate your mind and make you think other things. So he sends Desaad down, and
Apparently, I've dated Desaad before.
but
Sounds like every ex-girlfriend.
the storyline. I think I have it right here. Do I? No, I don't. But yeah, check that out. That's was in the 90s. I want to say, or 80s. I think 86 through 87.
Could be.
But John Byrne was the writer or the artist on that book. I love that old style. Right around the time of Man of Steel and everything else. I love that book. And it was cool. It was just a playful, enjoyable. It was expensive. I mean, like I said, it was the first. But back then, I think they were 75 cents, or maybe $1.50 back then, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
So you could still afford to get the entire run. So it was pretty fun. I don't know if you have ever read it or not, but yeah, it's really cool.
Not familiar with it.
Yeah, Shazam was a major character. Some of the big guys were
love
definitely
Shazam.
Yeah, so
Great costume.
Check
I
that
need
out.
a favor from you guys. I bought remember when I bought Kingdom Come at
Yep.
Comic Depot?
Yep.
I did this once. I opened it. The book's never been touched. I can get the cover open about that much. I want to bring them in just so you guys could just have your way with them. So I don't, because I feel
Oh, nice.
I'm like I can't read this.
Just be ginger with it.
can't.
When I have come into contact with a book like that, it's kind of like a deluxe book where you don't want to, you just hold the cover open as much as you need to get in there. And then as you're turning the pages, eventually
Is it
gravity.
because the pages are stuck together? You can't open it.
No,
or what?
gravity will take over.
They didn't call it Kingdom Come for nothing.
Now it's Kingdom
I'm
Came.
Sorry. Editor's note. It's not. It's Godfrey. His Darkseid's minion, Godfrey. He can control your mind and make you think. Also, they introduced Brimstone. Now I know you've seen Brimstone in DCU, the character Brimstone.
Oh, no.
Wow, what the
I'm
hell
not
are
a
you doing?
DC guy.
Well, I guess not. So major. It was the first major crossover Crisis on Infinite Earths. So I got that. Plotted by John Ostrander, scripted by Len Wein.
Len Wein.
Yep, and pencils John Byrne, and ink by Carl Kessel. So check that story out. 86 through 87, 6 issues. It does cross. You can get those 6 issues. I'm sure you could probably find them possibly in the dollar bin at this point.
Probably.
But it's still a great story. Like Nub always says, you can find some cool gems in the dollar bin. Some just great fun stories, good reads.
That's right. Like Kingdom Came.
Kingdom. I think that's in the nickel bin.
Whoa.
Ouch.
Anything from the 80s that really struck to you, good storyline
Really
for you?
jumped out at me. You know what I loved recently, what I've been going back and recollecting for my collection are 80s appearances of Sabretooth.
Oh, okay.
Showed up in Spectacular Spider-Man, a couple issues. I want to say check out issues maybe like 116, 119. I think that was with Sabretooth versus Black Suited Spidey. I mean, just the covers were great. I think he showed up in Daredevil. So Daredevil fought Sabretooth. And this is all during the Mutant Massacre, I want to say as well, roughly that time period. The Mutant Massacre when the Morlocks in the X-Men universe, the subterranean mutant dwellers that were living in the subways because they were too grotesque to be on the surface. They pretty much just get wiped out by Mr.
That's how
Sinister.
one of my dates started. I had to go in the sewers.
Hey-o! So, Sabretooth appearances from the 80s. I love it.
Pizza. Turtles in a Half Shell.
Tal, what about you? Any great 80s storylines that you love or cherish or rereading lately?
The biggest one, obviously, a nice little segue into the shirt I'm wearing. DW's favorite, Secret Wars. That was, I think, I think for a lot of people, just when you see all those characters together, it was just
more
like,
bang for your buck.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. But as far as I don't know.